What's up, my dudes? Valk here, and today we're going to be talking about the new BP unit Rimuru. As you can see, I'm 43. I managed to get Rimuru fairly recently. I'm going to be grinding towards getting like the shiny primal token soon. I'm probably going to end up shining my Bulma so I can try to get double Innovator or double CEO or something like that. Something crazy. Because I do believe shining my Bulma is like the next step to making a really cracked unit. But first I want to go over Rimuru and go over the rank up materials because I know a lot of you guys are curious. World 2-2, but also for the very last Sapphire materials, I believe, right? Yeah, Sapphire Rejuvenation right here. Kachao is my middle name. You can actually get this from grinding for Toji inside Shibuya City. You can see here I managed to get it from Stage 3, Grand Sapphire, Sapphire Rejuvenation. Yeah, I managed to get how many of them? I think like 2 of them? 3 of them. Yeah, I managed to get 3 of them and not Toji. But I have 3 of these Sapphire Rejuvenation, so that'll be really good whenever I want to max out rank 10 Rimuru. But that's what Rimuru takes, is the Sapphires. You can get them from World 2-2. So we're going to go ahead. Speaking of Stage 3, we're going to go ahead and go to... Actually, yeah, we'll do Stage 3 because I do want to showcase both paths. So we're going to go Stage 3, and we're going to see what Rimuru does. Now, I'm going to let you guys know, Rimuru's summons, they all come out with varying HP scaling off of his attack. And one of the summons actually buffs your allies' damage by 10%. So he is a buffer as well as a DPS. And then his top path is a full AoE with a very fat attack stat, but it's very expensive. So we're going to have to really work to get to that in this game. So, Rimuru, how good is he? For my early preliminary testing, I'll have to rank him up to actually see and get a good idea. But I want to say he's just pretty good. I want to say he's actually pretty good. I want to say that he is going to be good in pretty much all modes because he's actually rather cheap whenever compared to like the likes of Broly, for example, right? Because Broly is very, very expensive, extremely expensive. I forgot I go top path in story. But Broly is very, very, very expensive, making it so a lot of arts very hard to actually actively afford him. So it creates a lot of balancing issues because his base attack is so high to match how expensive he is. Meanwhile, Rimuru is kind of the opposite. Rimuru kind of functions very, very cheaply. Like, I'll be able to show him here in a minute. He's only level 1, so I didn't want to like put it down. He does have, do keep in mind, he has the Mangekyo Sharingan on, so he's going to be getting, I believe, at R5, it's like a 35% damage boost. So just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and get this all the way up first, and then we're going to go from there. I do want to get this fully maxed out, and then we can start working on it, because like I said, one of Rimuru's upgrades is extremely expensive. I was doing a lot of testing beforehand to try to get a good idea to tell you guys how good he is. And like I said, I don't think he's anything... I don't think he's bad. Keep that in mind. I think he's actually really good. I just don't think he's anything super, super insane like Broly. I don't think he's giga meta defining. I do think he's pretty good, though. So we're going to go ahead here, and I think one of the biggest issues is actually coverage. It's actually range. Like, Rimuru has really short range despite his cost. I'll go over that in a second. And you can supplement range with artifacts, so it's not like the end of the world. It's not that big a deal, honestly. And with how cheap Rimuru is to place at 900, you could definitely do other things. Like, you could definitely put like All Might hair on him to maybe give him that giga range boost. I probably should have brought All Might hair to show you guys what I mean. But yeah, range is not a big deal. It's not like such a big detractor that he's unusable or whatever. We're going to use Top Path first, and then I don't think Top Path is going to be too insane, I want to say. I could be wrong on this, but I don't think Top Path is going to be too insane. I think Bottom Path is mostly where you're going to see your use out of him, because of what it does and how good it is, and the fact that it lets him buff as well as do damage. So we're going to go Top Path first. And you can see what I mean by the range on placement. Range on placement is nothing crazy. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's just okay. This is just okay range on placement, but he is a cone for 900 on a good attack stat, which is really nice. Having this amount of damage on a good sized cone on placement for only 900 is actually really damn good. So you guys can see here the range increases. Increase range by 25% with leadership. So we're going to go Top Path first. what this summons here is body double at 2000. That doubles his attacks. Basically, take his attack stat now and double it, and that's essentially what he's doing. 1843.1 times 2. So he's really doing about 4k damage here in a line. And next up, he gets a circle, which the body double will repeat it. You guys can see here the body double is repeating the Hellfire. So he's really almost at about 10k damage here. 10k damage for about 7,000 gold at level 1, I think is pretty nuts. I have him rank 4, I believe, so it could be a lot higher. But I do think Rimuru is actually really, really good. I think the one thing Rimuru is going to struggle in is in coverage. Because you can see with like Megado, right? Megado, it's real. This is a really cool one. This is a cool ass move. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2, I think these all count as single hits, so it interacts with Mangekyo. Yeah, you can see, like, I want to see if it... Okay, so it does proc... No, it doesn't proc Mangekyo, right? Because it did hit the other ones. So this actually does not work well with Mangekyo, because what it is this is a ton of single targets. Now, I'm figuring out what this is. This is a buttload of single targets, and it is a ton of focus damage, too. Like, you can see the amount of damage Rimuru's actually dishing out. Rimuru's over here solo killing everything. So next up is Harvest Festival. This is a massive cost. I think this is the most expensive upgrade in the game at 200k. It is insanely expensive to actually get that upgrade. Very, very costly. So we're going to be here a minute for it. But yeah, the single target is good. And like you said, you can see probably his biggest issue that you're going to run into with him is his range. His range at 21 is very short. I do believe I'm getting some range out of nano machines. I'm not 100%, but it's not much. It'd be like plus 20% or something like that. So his range is pretty abysmal. But, like I said, you can fix that with, like, Nami or, like, Artifacts, so it's not the end of the world, but it is definitely a big negative whenever you're comparing him to, like, the god Broly. So I do still think, I don't think he encroaches Broly as the best unit in the game, but I do think Rimuru is very, very, very good. It's just, you guys can see the size of the upgrade he has on some of his upgrades. So, yeah, we're gonna do this. Look at all the single targets, dude. It's crazy. It does not play well with Mangekyo, though. This upgrade specifically does not like Mangekyo at all. So, body double is really good. Because you can see right now, at level 1, upgrade 5, he's doing 22k a hit, roughly. Because I believe the clone has his SPA to a 1-to-1. And his attack stat 1-to-1, if I remember right. So yeah, everything's just 1-to-1. We're almost to the promised land of 200,000 gold. So what does the most expensive upgrade in the game get you? We're about to find out in a little bit. And you'll be able to see how much damage Rimuru can actually pump out. And do keep in mind, like I said over and over, this is level 1. Whenever I get on level 100, rank 10, I'll probably remake a showcase. But yeah. 122,000 at level 1. That's 122,000 times 2, mind you. Just keep in mind that the clone is going to shoot it. You can see the clone was hitting for like 116k or whatever. 121k right there. So the clone is going to be shooting it in a circle. So basically every 3 seconds roughly, you can say, because it's every 6 seconds, but basically doing 224k on a 6 SPA at 30 range, and yeah, it's really, really damn strong. So Rimuru, I think, is incredibly powerful. It's just this last upgrade is so damn expensive, you're only going to be able to use it in infinite. You're starting to see a trend here with all these units with their really expensive upgrades. Is a lot of them are really designed just for infinites. Yeah. But the thing is with this one is the fact that it's doubling the attack stats, so it's going to scale exponentially because it has such a high base. If you start buffing this up with like buffers and getting some crazy numbers, you're going to see some really crazy returns. But I'll do that for a video once I actually have him max leveled so we can see exactly how high we can get him. In the meantime, I want to show you guys his other path. We're going to put him over here. Blop, blop, blop. I wonder what size his AoE is here. Oh, he stays cone. Okay. You guys can see here his attack stat going up, and he summons in everybody. Now, this is the important one. Each one does their own thing, but the important one is her, because she is going to buff, like right now, right? Yeah, like, you can see she buffs Sukuna, and Sukuna was able to get attack up. I might want to do that, right? You see, Sukuna was able to get an attack buff thanks to her. Let's go ahead and do this to block the buff. Yeah, Sukuna was able to get an attack stat. You can see how frequently Rimuru is able to actually summon everybody in. Rimuru summons them in constantly. And I think this is where you're going to see the main value out of Rimuru for like the average person, because it's not expensive at all. How much is it? It is 25k to reach this point where you have all the summons coming in, and you're able to basically summon the whole slime, the Isekai slime army. They also put Diablo in the game. That's actually based. I don't think I've seen like any game that actually puts Diablo in there. Diablo's sick. But you can see, like, if you watch the animations too, they have like their own attack animations. Like Diablo shoots in like a line, and yeah, no, it's just super dope. See, Diablo shoots in a line. I wonder what she shoots in. Does she just walk into them? Makes sense, she's a tank. So Benimaru and her just kind of walk into them. Benimaru has 33k HP off of that. Jeez. I even like go and buff him yet. But yeah, absolutely crazy stats, absolutely crazy everything. I want to try to go back top path and see if I can buff and get to a certain point. I was going to save it for the level 100, but we're here. Might as well see what we can do. So I do want to try to buff this as high as I can, given what I have right now. So we're going to go here. Go here. Go here. Then we're going to go here with Sanji. That's right, I placed a Sanji. Let me sell one. You're not Sanji. Cool. Alright, so we're going to sell a Sanji right here. It's so hard to see what's going on. Upgrade all the way. 1, 2. Dope. And then we're going to go ahead and give the Shinobu buff. I wonder if Shinobu's buff also applies to, like, him, right? Let's see. Yeah, Shinobu will buff him. Okay, cool. 900, so 1 million, so 2 million attack on a 6 SPA. That was right? Yeah, there's 2 million attack on a 3.6 SPA with Shinobu. No Steve buff with a Shinobu on level 1. So this is 2 million attack stat, level 1. That's pretty good. It's just extremely expensive to get to this point. I imagine that for Infinites, I could see Rimuru being incredibly meta. Like if I were to go ahead and instead do this, take this, and just a little bit of buffing. Well, here, better yet. So I can put this over here. Alright, so Sanji's should be shrunk now. Okay, so we're going to move you even further back. Alright, based. There we go. Now we got the range just right? Right now she's buffing herself, so I gotta wait a second. Yeah, the range is just right now. So now, Rimuru with the Nami buff is at 46.4. This is what I was talking about with the range. It's not a super big deal, right? You guys can see the buffs tick off because, yeah, Nami kind of messes with the range, and that in turn messes with the buffs. But it is good. It is fine. 594,000 times 2. Pretty based. All in all, pretty based. Rimuru seems to be pretty good, but seems to be very meta, or infinite meta. Seems to have like possibly the highest potential damage in the game, with the ability to reach like double and exponential scaling. Pretty sure Rimuru is going to have the highest potential damage output in the game. Top path. It's just you're not going to be able to use it in anything outside of an infinite. And then bottom path seems to be generally pretty good for any type of progressive mode. But because they're all summons, the only summon that like generally really interests me is Diablo. The rest is like a 10% buff. It's kind of like a do everything. It's like a Swiss Army knife unit. I do think Rimuru is pretty damn good. I am going to have to level to like really start to want to make a tier list to see where Rimuru ends up. But yeah, I think Rimuru is very, very good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.